Hey everybody, it's Matt from Junior Horror Movies, and welcome to another Top 10 Tuesday. Sorry for the lateness, just been very busy. Went out to dinner and all that shit. Yeah, just couldn't get a chance to upload a video for a bit, so I'm doing it now. This one I am doing my Top 10 of 2017. Now, there are going to be two movies that are not on here because I don't physically own them. You know me, I like to physically show the film that I have in my Top 10 Tuesday. The 22 Shots are doing their cast for the Top 10 2017. I submitted my list, and I had to submit two films I do not own, but I have definitely seen. One is called The Babysitter, which is a Netflix movie, and for some reason does not have a physical release yet, but once it does, that is a definitely own. Love The Babysitter, holy crap. Fantastic little film. The second one comes out in February. That is Victor Crowley. That also made my top 10 list. And that's Hatchet 4. I got a chance to see it at a screening in Syracuse. Wow, that movie was blown away. I loved it. The great scene, getting to see a movie before everyone else, and keep it all hush hush. You guys will love Victor Crowley. I can't wait. So what I did was I took my original list and just took two extra films I originally didn't have it on it and put it in. The one I actually completely forgot all about. I actually kicked myself after submitting the list and going, why isn't this on my list? You fucking idiot. But anyway, without further ado, here's my new list for my top 10 2017 movies that were released then that I physically own right now. So here we go. Number 10. Is Life. Life is a very cool alien remake, or not a remake, but an alien ripoff type film. They're on the space station, and of course they find a life form on Mars. So it's starting to grow. And of course they start testing on it. Well, this thing does not like to be tested. And it starts to grow and start to become a little more deviant. And it starts killing off everybody on the ship. I like the way the alien looked. It's different. It's not like a dude in a suit, not a gigantic, towering alien. It's kind of like this weird blob-like, cloth-like creature, and it starts to evolve. You start seeing more forms of it, and of course it shows this evil-looking skeleton demon-like face. That was pretty cool. Very claustrophobic, very intense film. I liked how they went with this movie, and highly recommend it. I didn't get a chance to see it in the theater, but when I saw it, when I bought it and watched it, this was an add-on. This did not make my original 2017 list because of the two that I mentioned before. So, Life at number 10. Shit, let's throw it over here in my pocket. Number 9 is put out by Scream Factory. That is The Devil's Candy. Devil's Candy was, wow, I bought it a long time ago in 2017, kept putting it off. Everyone was talking about it, check it out, check it out. Like, you know what, fuck it. Let's watch it. Pretty much you have a slaughter in this house. This big dude's blasting this guitar, he's beating his family pretty much. He escapes. Well, now the house is for sale. This young artist and his family buy the house and move in. Well, during the night he starts waking up and starts changing his paintings. His paintings start to become more dark, more deviant. Meanwhile, the big guy that did the killings comes back to the house saying, hey, this is my house. I need to live here. We need to get out. So there's been a kind of a conflict between these two individuals. Also, this big dude is fascinated with the daughter. There's a reason, because he likes killing little girls and cutting them up. So that's his next target. It's really because they're saying it's possession by two different demons. No. There's a kind of a possession happening, but I don't want to get into it because I don't want to ruin it. I got it at the end, I'm going, oh, that's really cool how they did that. And that shows the evilness. The fire scenes were pretty well done. Good story, guys. Cool psychological / possession type movie. 2017, The Devil's Candy. Highly recommend it. I liked it a lot. Number 8. This one blew me away. I always wanted to see in the theater, never got a chance. In fact, a lot of these I haven't seen in the theater. But anyway, and that's the Belko Experiment. The Belko Experiment was fantastic. Pretty much, Belko, the company in South America, happens to go under lockdown. And of course, out of the speaker system, that says, okay, there are, forgot how many number are you, someone has to die within a certain amount of time. If someone doesn't, there are little explosives embedded into your neck. We will detonate someone at random. And of course, no one believes, and the shit happens and starts going down. You actually get to see the development of characters start to devolve and start, fending for themselves and say, fuck this, I'm killing people because I want to live. Blown away how this movie worked out. Great acting. Michael Rooker's in it for a little while. It says it has a battle royale type feel to it. It definitely does. You're secluded in this big building. There's people outside with guns. Only one person's allowed to leave, and of course, they're monitoring Belko here, saying, okay, if so many people don't die within a certain amount of time, 24 are you going to die, or 50. It's just random. You don't know who's going to die. So that's really cool. So it just shows how people act in these intense, strange situations where, fight or flight, pretty much. And the fighting is awesome. Number 7. This one's an independent movie. And when I watched it, I'm like, wow. I didn't know about this movie until I saw it on Facebook. And I missed I think it was an Indigo campaign for it. And they said, okay, we have extra editions left of the DVD. There is no Blu-ray of it. So this is my only DVD on the list. And I picked it up. It's an anthology. It's a Halloween anthology. And I was blown away. I was like, wow, this is really good. Each story is well. There's one story that's kind of a little weak, but once you figure out what's happening, you're like, oh, okay, I understand what's going on now. You have to go to their website to order this movie. I think there's several left. And that's called 1031. Halloween. Another Halloween anthology. The guys that did The Barn, did Volumes of Blood. There's a couple other independent directors. Each one's did certain stories in this. And each story is pretty good, like I said. No Blu-ray. There's no wraparound. It's just story after story. And one has to deal with an old hag and a house. Another one has to deal with trick-or-treating and Christmas kind of deal. Another one's actually a slasher in a skating ring. Another one's called the Satan Slasher, I think it was. Killer Scarecrows. A whole bunch of different things. Cool blood and guts. Very low. It's low budget, but it's well done low budget. They actually did an awesome job on this. So if you're thinking about picking up 1031, highly recommend it. Check out their Facebook page. It's 1031 Movie. I think you can find it on 1031films.com. I think that's where I bought it. And I freaking loved it, guys. 1031. And that was on my original list, too. So, yeah. 6. I always lose count. This one was put out by Sony Pictures. And that's called Don't Kill It. Don't Kill It is, wow. It kind of reminds me of an episode of Supernatural. I'm a huge Supernatural fan, and this was very well done. Pretty much, Dolph Lundgren happens to be a demon hunter. He's going after a specific demon. This demon has infested this town. What it is if you're possessed by the demon, the demon starts going on a killing spree. If you kill the person who is possessed by the demon, you automatically become possessed by that demon. So how do you kill something that will get you possessed? Well done. They've got the whole black eyes, a lot of blood, a lot of gore, great acting. Christina Klebb is in this. She did a fantastic job. Good storyline of the small town. Dolph Lundgren killed it. He was funny in this, and he played a well-deserved demon hunter. So Don't Kill It. That was so much fun. Alright, number 5. Some people could probably say this as a horror film. I do. Some people might say no, it's not, but I am, and it's Split by M. Night Shyamalan. Now, M. Night's been kind of hit or miss with a lot of his films. I definitely have a few in my collection over here, but this one was awesome. Pretty much a man who has the 23 multi-personalities. The 24th one hasn't shown up yet. And pretty much, he goes and kidnaps 3 girls. And there's one girl that's, you could tell she has a past. What's going on? So, of course, he confronts the girls, and it's all different personalities that come through. Usually you have a little boy, an old woman, gay guy, a whole bunch of other things. And James McAvoy did a fantastic job playing these different personalities. Very psychological, great. And the twist at the end, I freaking lost it when I saw it. One of my buddies fell asleep watching it, and when I shouted out, "Oh my God!" and the whole twist thing, he like jumped and freaked out. It was hysterical. But I would love to see how they go with Split. Let's just say it's tied up with Unbreakable. That's all I'm gonna say. Great film. All right, I'll get the rest here. Number 4, kind of like Belko Experiment, but I thought Mayhem was better than the Belko. Similar to Belko Experiment, but you have this lawyer firm. You get introduced with a ton of different characters. Stephen Yeun happens to be a upcoming. He started off from the bottom, worked his way up to high end, and of course he is sabotaged by the higher ups to get him fired, because the higher ups fucked up, so someone down below needs to get fired from it. Well, he's having a really bad day. Come to find out, this virus has been infected into this building. This virus pretty much starts turning you into a raging maniac. Your eyes start turning red, and you're not responsible for what happens, which is pretty cool. They go back a little bit in time, saying this is the first gentleman with the infected virus. He's not held responsible, so if he goes on this murder spree, not his fault. So of course now, this virus has infected people, that you go fuck everybody, you murder people, just go ballistic. And you're not responsible because during the law system, do whatever you want. So now they have, I think it's 8 hours before the antidote can be released. So Stephen Yeun decides, you know what, I'm getting revenge on those motherfuckers upstairs. And he has to work his way up to get to the CEO. This movie was fantastic. Good blood, good guts, great fighting scenes. The soundtrack was fantastic with the fight scenes. I was blown away by how Stephen Yeun played his character in this. So he did a fantastic job. I can't wait to see what more comes from him. But Mayhem, oh, beautifully well done. Number 3, just got it in today. Been waiting for the release, and my plastic is all bent on it. But that is it. I got the steelbook. For some reason, I got the last steelbook there. And no, this is not bent. That's just the plastic there. This is the It remake. I did see this in the theaters, and I loved it. If you're familiar with it, you have Pennywise the Clown, and you have going after these kids. These kids are now trying to fight the clown because one of the younger brothers, Georgie, happens to be missing. And of course, Pennywise is, of course, involved in killing kids. He feeds on their fears and then devours them. So everyone pretty much knows the story of It. From the book, from the other old miniseries, now you have the remake. I thought this remake was really well done on the gore, especially that scene with Georgie, and the scene with Georgie, that's all I gotta say, right in the beginning. I remember seeing this in the theater with my wife, and we're watching it going, yeah, we remember how it goes. But when they showed it in this movie, we both looked at each other like, holy shit, we're in for something interesting. They showed some good scenes. It does go by the book somewhat, but also not. They had to take certain scenes out. The bathroom scene was fantastic. The blood and gore on that. So yeah, if you haven't seen the remake of It, remember, this is part 1. This is all with the kids in the Loser Club. You have nothing to do with the adults. That's going to be coming up with the next film. So It at number 3. Number 2 is Get Out. I did see this one in the theaters too, and this one was definitely a mind bender, but really well done psychological film, pretty much with the whole interracial couple. The guy is finally going to meet his girlfriend's parents, who happen to be white. So he gets down there, and of course they're accepting him and everything, but something doesn't seem right. They do have a black couple working for them. They're kind of like the maid and servant, and just things are not right with these individuals. They meet more of her friends and more of her family and other friends, and they're all acting very weird, especially towards him, because they're like, oh, you're a spine individual, man, your physique is great, and they're all like eyeballing him. One of them decides to control his mind a little bit to put him under some kind of hypnosis, helps quit smoking, but it plays a big deal in this. Love the ending. The ending was awesome. Again, definitely check out Get Out for sure, guys. This was at number 2. I don't want to get too much involved because I don't want to spoil it. And my number 1. This was put out by Screen Media. Under the radar, but when it was shown, it was fantastic. Number 1, The Void. Pretty much, if you think about it as a different type of Hellraiser type movie, or a very, I don't know how to say it. But anyway, you have a bunch of people going to a hospital. This hospital happens to be run down because they're rebuilding a new hospital, so they have to keep the ER open. So everyone else has moved into the hospital except for this small little ER. Guys brought in all shot up, girls there for being pregnant, so you're introduced to a bunch of characters. Well, what happens is now they're getting attacked by these white cloaked individuals, kind of like a cult. And of course now they're trapped inside, while somehow the gates of hell have opened, and these demons are coming out and possessing certain people, ripping people apart. A lot of great practical effects were done in this. I was watching some of the special features and how they did a particular room scene with the room closing in on them. That was really well done. Very scary, very dark film. All practical effects. I don't think any CGI was used. Or maybe a little bit of CGI, but mostly all practical. So if you're into Hellraiser type movies, this is definitely a must. Holy crap. The Void at number 1. Alright guys, that is my 2017 top 10 list. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. If there's other films that you've seen that should have been on my list, well, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Again, stay tuned for the 22 Shots Moodz in the Horror podcast coming up with their 2017. They have a big show on it, so I can't wait to listen to that. Alright guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my top 10. Let me know your comments down below. Again, if you haven't seen any of these movies, check them out. They're all fantastic. Hence, top 10 of 2017, guys. Have a good one. Peace.